warriors were gathered on Earth ready to fight. Even the entire Galactic Patrol was present. Yamcha cracked his knuckles and said it was finally his turn. Chaos nervously wondered if he still knew how to fight after so much time. Jocko panicked about being in charge of Earth and told the new guys to give it their all. Yamcha was confused and said they were the veterans. Gohan looked at the sky and announced it was time. Piccolo strictly ordered Goten and Trunks to follow instructions since this was not a game. Trunks confidently agreed. Goten nodded to Piccolo. Krillin asked Jocko if Goku and Vegeta were coming. Jocko explained that he had informed Goku, but did not know his exact location, and that Maris was not coming. Jocko added that he had no idea where Vegeta was, but hoped they would both arrive before it was too late. At the lookout, Mr. Satan argued with the Galactic Patrol for taking his best friend. The others watched the ship of Moro approach through the computer screens of Bulma. Chi-Chi asked Bulma if Android 21 would wake up soon. Bulma said she should have woken up by now since 2 months had passed, and hoped she would wake up at the last second just like Goku always did. Videl trusted that her husband Gohan could protect the Earth, and would not let himself be defeated while his daughter waited for him. Videl looked at young Pan sitting next to Violetta. Chi-Chi agreed and said her son was very strong, and would hold out until Goku and Vegeta arrived. Bulma quietly pleaded for 21 to wake up as she looked at the android sleeping in a bed next to a sleeping Majin Buu. Several ships launched from the main vessel of Moro and landed across the planet. The Earth Warriors and Galactic Patrol had to split up. Jocko complained that the invaders were going to loot the Earth before destroying it. Piccolo realized their plan. Master Roshi told Krillin they would handle the prisoners, while the others fought the boss. Roshi jumped on the back of Krillin, and they flew off with Galactic Patrol ships following them. Tien and Chaos headed in another direction. Yamcha pointed to the left and flew off with his own patrol escort. Krillin and Roshi arrived to find a panda alien and 3 young women. The panda alien finished beating up some locals and noticed the newcomers. One of the girls told the panda named Uniba that they were leaving to attack elsewhere. Uniba agreed. Master Roshi stared at the women as they left. Krillin told Roshi to stay focused so they could win together. Roshi told Krillin to handle the panda himself and comically ran away to chase the girls. Krillin was confused and Uniba took the opportunity to punch him into a house. Uniba smiled and said he had no time to waste. Krillin rubbed his face and charged at the panda. Gohan hoped the others were doing well. Piccolo noticed a small alien approaching them. Goten and Trunks commented on how ugly the porcupine alien looked. Piccolo warned them that the alien was not alone. The small alien smiled as the invisible android 7-3 sneaked behind Piccolo and Gohan and grabbed their necks. 7-3 copied their powers. The small alien bragged about using an invisible warrior. Goten and Trunks quickly kicked the android back. 7-3 then started using the abilities of Piccolo. The alien ordered 7-3 to kill them. 7-3 fired a special beam cannon. Gohan stepped forward and created a shield to block the attack. Gohan spun the energy and deflected it. Piccolo fired his own special beam cannon while Goten and Trunks fired a double Kamehameha. The combined attacks hit the android and created a massive explosion. 7-3 began to regenerate using the copied Namekian abilities, but was heavily damaged. Gohan smiled and said they were prepared for their powers to be copied. The alien commanded 7-3 to switch to a stronger power. Piccolo told Goten and Trunks to go help the others. The boys wanted to win, but Piccolo insisted they leave and fight elsewhere. The boys flew away. The alien laughed and said moving away would not save them. 7-3 fired multiple energy blasts. Piccolo cloned himself and fired several blasts to counter the attack. This gave Gohan an opening to strike 7-3 with all his might and smash him into the ground. Piccolo praised Gohan. Jocko realized 7-3 could only use one copied power at a time, and could not dodge combined attacks. Gohan smiled and said they would not lose to a cheap copy. In a city, Yamcha was easily defeating several escaped prisoners. Yamcha noted that his training with Piccolo and Gohan was effective. A prisoner cursed his unexpected strength. Yamcha proudly revealed he was the 3rd strongest human on Earth. Yamcha used his Wolf Fang fist to knock out the remaining enemies. The Galactic Patrol handcuffed the thugs while Yamcha sensed another battle and flew off to help. Gohan and Piccolo fired a combined attack that heavily damaged 7-3. The alien companion told 7-3 to use the power of Moro to survive. 7-3 copied the power of Moro and they both stood up. The alien ordered 7-3 to steal the energy of 2 figures standing on a rock. The energy drain failed mysteriously. The 2 figures leaped down and kicked the villains in the face. The alien was shocked and asked who they were. Android 17 asked if the robot was the one he just hit. Android 18 confirmed it. Android 17 noted the enemy was weak and wondered why Piccolo needed them. Piccolo and Gohan arrived. Piccolo explained that 7-3 could not absorb energy from artificial humans who lacked normal ki. Jocko cheered because artificial humans were the perfect counter. On his ship, Moro watched the battles and stood up in annoyance. Moro stated he did not expect much from his men. Sagambo apologized and noted Earth had strong fighters. Moro smiled and said it made his personal trip worthwhile. Moro wondered which one he should eat first. Uniba rolled into a ball and launched himself at Krillin. Krillin threw several Destructo discs, but they all missed. Uniba beat Krillin down to the ground. The panda smiled thinking he had won, but then noticed Krillin pointing a finger. Uniba realized the discs were homing back at him. Uniba dodged them and the discs hit Krillin instead. Uniba laughed at the foolish mistake until the Krillin on the ground vanished into an illusion. The real Krillin appeared behind Uniba and blasted him with a Kamehameha. Krillin landed tiredly and heard yelling nearby. He ran over and found Roshi on the ground with a handprint on his face. Roshi complained that the women were too fast. The three angry women approached and threatened to kill the old man for touching them. Roshi nervously asked Krillin for help. Tien and Chaos fought a massive metal alien. Tien punched the alien with all his strength, but only fractured his own hand. Trunks arrived in his Super Saiyan form and punched the alien, but only pushed him back a few meters. Trunks cried out in pain holding his hand. A galactic patrolman explained that the alien was Bikurakoider, a metalman made of the hardest material in the universe. Trunks remembered his father fighting a similar alien. Tien remembered their weakness was insults. The metalman attacked them. Tien yelled a basic insult, but it did nothing. Chaos noted the insult was too weak. Trunks stepped up and unleashed a highly offensive string of brutal insults targeting the mother of the metalman. The giant metal alien immediately collapsed to the ground crying in emotional agony. Chaos was shocked by the foul language of the boy and threatened to tell Bulma. Trunks fell to his knees and begged him not to tell his mother. The three angry women fused into a giant ugly warrior. Roshi screamed that they had become ugly. The giant woman punched Krillin and kicked Roshi. Goten arrived and asked if they needed help. Krillin told him to take her down. Goten saluted playfully. The giant woman saw the boy turn into a blonde blur. She looked around but could not see him until she looked down. Goten delivered a massive uppercut to her jaw and then stomped on her stomach. She was instantly knocked out and the fusion ended. The Galactic Patrol arrested them while Roshi stared at them creepily. Krillin thanked Goten for the help. Goten laughed and said she was easy to beat. Goten then flew off to help Yamcha. Android 17 and 18 easily defeated their enemies. As 7-3 fell, someone caught him by the neck. It was Moro. Jocko panicked as the boss finally appeared. Moro scolded 7-3 for using his power so carelessly. The alien begged for forgiveness. Moro threw them aside and told Sagambo to take them to the ship to recover. Piccolo realized Moro was on a completely different level. Gohan felt a chill sensing the countless screaming souls inside the energy of Moro. Jocko explained Moro gained that power by eating people. Moro noticed Goku and Vegeta were missing. Gohan bravely declared they would protect the Earth until his father and Vegeta arrived. Moro laughed and said he was in a good mood because the planet was full of delicious energy. Android 18 looked disgusted. Sagambo asked Moro for permission to fight them to restore the honor of the Galactic Bandits. Moro agreed, but ordered him not to kill them so he could eat their energy later. Moro touched the back of Sagambo and pumped him full of magical energy. Sagambo grew massive and his muscles tore his clothes. Gohan was shocked that Moro could share energy. Sagambo roared and charged at Android 17. The android tried to block but was pushed back. Android 18 tried to help push back, but it was not enough. Piccolo, Gohan, and even Jocko tried to hold Sagambo down. Sagambo simply smiled and spun around, throwing everyone into the ground. Jocko called it madness. Piccolo mentally begged Goku, Vegeta, and Android 21 to hurry up. Yamcha took a heavy hit from a yellow alien named Saiyagi. Goten, Trunks, Tien, and Chaos arrived to help. Saiyagi bragged about being an elite officer. He charged at them but Goten and Trunks in their Super Saiyan forms knocked him out with a single finger. Trunks called it a disappointment. Suddenly everyone felt the massive power of Sagambo. Yamcha warned that Gohan was in trouble. The two young Saiyans rushed toward the main battlefield. At the lookout, everyone watched the brutal battle through the drones. Chi-Chi panicked as Gohan was losing. Den worried that Goten and Trunks were heading into a trap. Mr. Popo stated they needed Android 21 to wake up. Violetta and Pan shook the sleeping android trying to wake her. Dent warned that Earth would fall tomorrow soon. Suddenly Majin Buu woke up, but his face transformed into the Grand Supreme Kai. Mr. Satan was shocked. The Grand Supreme Kai explained he only had a few seconds. He noted that the sleeping woman had a similar Majin essence, meaning Moro could not absorb her energy. The Kai spoke an ancient language and fired a beam at Android 21. Her eyes fluttered open. She saw the round face of the Kai, who then said goodbye, and reverted back to a sleeping Majin Buu. Android 21 held her head in confusion. Violetta cried tears of joy, and hugged her mother. Android 21 hugged her daughter back and looked at the tense room. She asked what she missed and where her husband was. Bulma explained she had been asleep for 2 months and the Earth was being invaded while Goku and Vegeta were gone. Chi-Chi begged her to save Gohan. Android 21 gently moved Violetta and promised to be right back. She flew off at incredible speed. Sagambo was brutally beating Piccolo and tore off his arm. Gohan tried to choke Sagambo with an energy thread, but failed. The androids attacked his legs to no avail. Godinks arrived and launched explosive ghosts at Sagambo. Sagambo swatted them away and then threw Gohan and Piccolo into the androids. Sagambo bragged about his loyalty to Moro. Jocko insulted him and Sagambo approached to kill the patrolman. Suddenly, a brown-haired woman appeared and blocked his path. Jocko hid behind her. Gohan was thrilled to see Android 21. Piccolo grunted that it was about time. Android 21 demanded to know where her husband was. Sagambo charged at her. Android 21 transformed into her Majin form and stopped his punch with one hand. She kicked him in the stomach and followed up with a bicycle kick to his jaw. Moro was intrigued by her immense power. Android 21 teleported near Moro and demanded to know who he was. Moro smiled and called her a delicious meal. Moro pointed to Sagambo, who was getting back up with even more energy. Android 21 wrapped her tail around the neck of Sagambo, spun him around, and slammed him down. Sagambo tried to punch her, but she dodged, and broke his ribs with a kick and hammered him into the ground. Piccolo noted her power was incredible, but worried it was still not enough for Moro. Android 21 turned her attention to Moro. Moro pointed behind her. Sagambo was up again, completely deranged from the excess power Moro was forcing into his body. Android 21 grew annoyed, and fired a beam from her finger, turning Sagambo into a small cake. She stomped on the cake in anger. She warned Moro that she did not play around when Earth was threatened. Moro was fascinated that she could use magic. Android 21 teleported behind him and punched, but Moro blocked it easily. Moro head-butted her, and slammed her face into the ground. She teleported above him, but Moro blasted her in the face with energy. Everyone watched in horror as their strongest protector was humiliated. Android 21 wiped blood from her lip, and fired a candy beam at Moro. Moro let it hit him, but nothing happened. Moro revealed he was also a magical being, and knew how to counter magic. Moro punched her to the ground, and tried to absorb her energy. The absorption failed completely. Moro was confused. Android 21 shifted into her evil form, and kicked him in the face. Moro realized he could not steal her essence, and decided to just kill her. Android 21 charged a Kamehameha, but Moro grabbed her wrists, and lifted her up. Moro prepared to impale her. Someone grabbed the hand of Moro, and stopped the lethal blow. It was Goku. He had silver eyes, and a furious glare. Goku unleashed a flurry of invisible blows that pushed Moro back. Goku helped Android 21 stand up. She hugged him tightly. Moro smiled seeing his ultimate meal arrive. Moro recognized the technique of the gods. Goku plainly stated it was the Ultra Instinct sign. Piccolo declared Goku was the only hope for the universe. Goku told Android 21 to stay back. He engaged Moro in high-speed combat. Goku landed a heavy kick to the chest of Moro and overwhelmed him with strikes. Moro used magic to bind the hands and feet of Goku. Moro kicked Goku to the ground, but Goku quickly recovered. Moro unleashed a barrage of deadly magical lightning. Android 21 ordered the others to retreat. Piccolo told her to retreat as well. Android 21 refused to leave her husband, and closed her eyes to focus her own divine technique fueled by pure anger. Gohan and Piccolo joined the others and moved away. Goku and Moro clashed fiercely. Moro tried to absorb energy, but Goku moved too fast and landed a suplex. Moro grew furious and pulled magma from the core of the planet using magic. Moro boasted that he could still eat the energy of Goku once he was immobilized. Moro powered up immensely, creating a massive aura. Moro declared he possessed power surpassing the gods after eating countless planets. Meanwhile, Android 21 fell to her knees and vomited, feeling incredibly sick. She ignored the sickness and focused hard on her incomplete doctrine. Moro fired a massive blast. Goku deflected it, but Moro appeared behind him and crushed him in a bear hug. The immense pressure caused Goku to lose his Ultra Instinct form. Moro slammed him into the ground and prepared to finish him. Suddenly, a dark Kamehameha struck Moro in the back. Android 21 stood there with a terrifying smile and lost red eyes. She had tapped into her own unstable divine state. Goku smiled and stood next to her. The silver eyes of Goku and the red eyes of Android 21 locked onto the Planet Eater. They charged at Moro together. At the lookout, Bulma struggled to keep the drones tracking the fast movements. Violetta asked Mr. Popo if her mother was fighting a goat. Mr. Popo tried to soften the truth. Violetta said she felt a strange tiny energy inside the stomach of her mother when she hugged her. The adults froze in absolute shock. The words of the little girl revealed a grave truth that not even Android 21 seemed to know. Violetta saw a screen showing her mother bleeding on the battlefield. Violetta called them liars and pushed Bulma down. The little girl leaped off the lookout and flew toward the battlefield. Pan immediately followed her. Videl jumped after them trying to catch the girls. Goku and Android 21 fought desperately against Moro. Moro countered their attacks and slammed Android 21 into the ground. Goku tried to save her, but Moro blasted him away. The doctrine of Android 21 wore off and she returned to her normal state. Moro swatted her away like a fly. Goku lost his form completely as Moro stomped on his stomach. Vegeta suddenly appeared using instant transmission. Vegeta engaged Moro using his new technique called Force Spirit Fission. Vegeta beat Moro relentlessly, causing all the stolen energy to leave the body of Moro. The stolen souls returned to their planets. Moro grew old and weak. Moro used a magma distraction to escape to his ship. He consumed 7-3 and returned with a new face and immense power. Moro copied the abilities of Vegeta and defeated the prince with his own Big Bang attack. Goku tried to fight again, but Violetta and Pan arrived. Android 21 panicked and told them to leave. Videl arrived and tried to grab the girls. Android 21 used wind to push them to safety. Goku used a 20 times Kaioken with Super Saiyan Blue and destroyed the arm of Moro. However, Moro used the copied Namekian regeneration to heal instantly and shoved his arm entirely through the chest of Goku. Everyone watched in utter horror as Goku was fatally impaled. Moro drained the energy of Goku before dropping him. Gohan, Piccolo, and the androids tried to help, but Moro effortlessly defeated them all. Android 21 completely lost her mind and charged at Moro with an energy blade. Moro caught her and stabbed her in the stomach with her own blade. Moro kicked her dying body to the dirt. Violetta screamed in fury. The little girl transformed into a Super Saiyan and bit the finger of Moro clean off. Moro laughed at the small golden child. Dend finished healing Goku. Dend frantically warned him about his family. Goku teleported and saw Moro holding Violetta by the head while Android 21 bled out. Moro threatened to kill the child. The sheer desperation triggered the perfect Ultra Instinct within Goku. Goku moved faster than time and kicked Moro away. Goku caught his crying daughter and told her to take her mother to Dend. Moro got up in pain. Goku calmly dismantled Moro, breaking his hand, crushing his foot, and throwing him into his own magma. Goku locked Moro in place with divine binding and delivered a universe-shaking punch to his gut. Moro was completely defeated. Dend healed Android 21, but looked at her with a tragic expression. Dend cried and revealed the terrible truth. The stab wound from Moro had killed the unborn child in her womb. Android 21 touched her stomach in shock and began to wail in absolute agony. Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo lowered their heads in sorrow. Goku grabbed a Senzu bean intending to force Moro back to prison. Krillin, Piccolo, and Vegeta arrived. Piccolo stopped Goku and told him the tragic news about his unborn child. The emotionless facade of Ultra Instinct broke. Goku felt pure hatred for the first time in his life. Moro begged for the healing bean. Goku crushed the bean to dust. Goku grabbed Moro by the throat and lifted him up. Goku shattered the arm of the beast. With a face full of wrath, Goku drove his bare hand straight through the chest of Moro. Goku pulled his arm out and let Moro fall. Moro gasped for air in a pool of his own blood. Goku held his palm toward the face of the beast. Goku whispered the word Hawkeye. The destructive energy completely erased Moro from existence. Goku fell to his knees staring at his hands. Piccolo realized Goku had just executed a defenseless enemy. Vegeta noted that Moro dug his own grave by breaking the mind of Goku. The battlefield was completely silent, except for the heartbreaking sobs of Android 21 holding her daughter. The gods watched the tragedy unfold from afar in complete silence. The devastating cost of victory has forever changed the Saiyan hero. How will Goku and his family recover from this tragic loss? Will the gods punish Goku for using the power of destruction in cold blood? Find out in the next part.